Okay, so my name's Chase, and this is my senior speech. A few of you may know I've played soccer for quite some time now, and put a lot of time into the club soccer program, spending nearly every day next to Noah and A-Rod, going from school to soccer, and then coming home to hours of homework, and on weekends taking trips all over the state for tournaments. It became a routine. School, soccer, then school, soccer, then eat, then sleep, then repeat. But one day at the Orlando ESPN tournament, my life changed after the final blow of one ref's whistle. One moment at the end of the game, I found myself taking off my goalkeeper gloves and making my way over to shake the opposing team's hand. And the next moment, I had my mom sprinting on the field telling me that we needed to leave right that moment. But she wouldn't quite tell me why until we finally got in the car and began driving. She said the words, "Chase, your dad's been in an accident and he's in the hospital." Instantly, I began asking about his health and not knowing whether or not I should instantly began tearing up. But when we got there and the doctors told me everything, I soon realized my life would never be the same. It took me 3 years after that day to find a state of acceptance for the situation at hand, that situation being my father's paralysis. For the first 3 years of his accident, going in and out of the hospital was like pulling teeth for me. It hurt to watch him in pain, and it hurt to see him knowing that I could no longer do the little things that I used to take for granted. Although one day, 3 years later, I gave up. I gave up on being depressed, and I was tired of being alone. When I could give up these burdens, it was as if an angel had come down and lit a hand out to help me off the ground. When I opened my eyes to look around and stop crying, I could find nothing but sympathy and help. At first, these sympathetic approaches left me almost angry, and I couldn't figure out why. Although now I realize it was because I didn't want to feel so minuscule in such a huge situation in my life. Their sympathy made me realize that I truly had little to no control of the situation. But shortly after accepting these sympathetic talks with people as random as neighbors, doctors, teachers, and long-lost family members, I realized I've never had so many people in my corner. It was like a boxing match. I'd go into the ring, being the hospital, then I'd see my father laying in bed in pain so bad that it would hurt me. And when I'd leave the ring, I'd go to my corner where I'd try to face my problems alone, not realizing the amount of people that were willing to help and take a chip off my shoulder just to see me be happy. But as time went on, and the more people I met, and the more people I let into my life, the more chips were being lifted off my shoulders. And as soon as I was able to face reality and accept the cards that I'd been dealt, I'd eventually be happy. But there was a couple cards missing, and those were my jokers. During this time of my dad's accident, I managed to push away even my closest friends, Mark, Jake, Jordan. I love you boys, and I'm glad we all stuck around to see what would come of these last few years. So now I'm gonna say my thank yous real quick. So Mark, never have I had a more caring yet goofy Arab in my life. You have taught me how to care for the ones closest to you and to give people chances. And getting to know you was the best chance I ever took. I love you, bro. And Jake, as I'm sure we all know, this kid fits a whole lot of personality in such a small body. But this kid's personality has taught me an attribute that I will take with me wherever I go, and it's desire. From the wrestling mat to anything we do, I feel unstoppable at your 5'6" side. And although we won't be attending the same colleges next year, I'm going to take this attribute and our memories with me to FAU. I love you, bro. Jordan, you have taught me how to overcome adversity. When it was your leg, you fought hard to get back on the court, and you won. When accusations were thrown your way that rendered you from finishing out your football season or starting out your basketball season, it took time, but you won. And when it was your leg again, you kept fighting, and you kept blowing my mind. Jordan, wherever you attend college, I know that these fights in life will continue, but I also know that you'll be able to do anything you put your mind to, and I can't wait to see what you do further down the road. Love you, bro. These are all friends that I pushed away because I was so stubborn and determined that I just wanted to be mad at the world. People would ask me if I needed counseling, but my response was always the same. No, I needed my friends. And the day these boys accepted me back in their lives was the day the chains that had weighed me down for so long were finally lifted. Life got better. I was able to talk to them about how I felt without feeling judged. And soon I found myself with the desire to embrace my father's paralysis and accept the challenge. This challenge has its ups and downs, but it's a challenge that can be won. And just 1 year ago, in the middle of this self-battle, I met some kid that I had no clue at all would end up being one of my best friends. Thornton. Oh, you probably knew this was coming, but from the tubby BCS kid I first met, I had no desire to become your friend, but I took a chance. And I think it's safe to say I've never developed such a good friend in such a short amount of time. You have taught me so many things in life. Literally anything I have learned this past year has been with you. We've overcome the same obstacles, fought the same battles, and shared the same victories on numerous occasions. I love you, I love your family, and I cherish our friendship more than you may ever know. These are just some of the people that have made my life better, but I want to give credit to those who may have just put a smile on my face, because you guys are truly my friends and I appreciate the small laughs we all share together. Now I'd like to talk more about this challenge in my life, but I want to thank one last group of people, and that way we can all get out of here, and that's my family. Amelia, wherever you are, you little. You're a beautiful, determined, and inspiring young girl. I'm sorry about the perception I left here in the upper school for you. Oh, you very well stop crying. The perception that I left here in the upper school for you, but I know you'll prove everyone wrong, and I want you to know you'll always have my number on your phone. You can always shoot me a text or give me a call. I love you, sis. And Grady. There's literally no person or thing on earth that I love more than you. You're my little troublemaker, my best friend, and you are my heart, and I love you, kiddo. And Mom. I could write a whole nother speech about the things you have done for me. You're my rock, you're the only woman I need in my life, and I credit you so much for where I am standing now. When money was tight or I just wasn't making life any easier, you were working here at this school in order to ensure that I had the best education and opportunity to live the best life I could. I love you, Mom. And Ben, I thank you so much for walking into our lives and making this family what it truly is. I love you. And Dad. I just want to say I love you first off, and I'm sorry I haven't been around during the hardest times of our lives, but I want you to know I've thought about you every day and learned lessons even from afar. You've never given up in what you believed in, and you've always put me first in your life, even when you were fighting for your own. You're my giving tree that never stopped giving, and I love you to the moon and back. So my message here today is this. Even when things are hard, try your hardest to keep your head up and keep looking out for those who can help. Because when you're in the ring and it feels like you don't have anyone in your corner, when the pain begins to feel unbearable, just take a moment to lift up your head, share a smile, share a laugh, and you'll truly see how many people are willing to put themselves in your corner. Thank you.